Hello there, and welcome to the 15th episode of Strategic Zoomcast. And what you're watching is Dusty's Ostrupen. He is Wehrmacht, and he is in the east of Kolodny Ferma. He is up against his clanmate, his friend, but in this case his most bitter of enemies, Momo. Momo is playing as USF in the west of Kolodny Ferma, and this is Tightropes 1 versus 1 invitational tournament. This tournament is based for American and Asian time zones. It was a highly successful tournament, and this is one of the most interesting games from it. The players and the tournament organizer all told me I should cast this, so here I am. Ostrupen, 3 of which have been built so far. Let's see if he's going to go for any more. Momo saying, "Lol, scum," in chat. That's playfully saying, "Oh my god, you're using Ostrupen against me? Really, brah?" And yes, he is. Fuel is in Dusty's control. So it's going to be a little bit confusing because we've got Wehrmacht starting from the east of Kolodny Ferma. Fixed positions would dictate the west, but maybe a gentleman's agreement, or maybe they just didn't select fixed positions with allies as one. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Regardless, so you've got 3 rifles building as usual. No rear echelons extra, so that's pretty much the only variation you'd ever see. There's a couple of extra rear echelons, perhaps. No, he's going for traditional meta-orientated USF play, and he's up against what can only be described as now Ostrupen spam. Now, he's built 4. I would class it as getting to spam levels. Maybe 5 is definitely spam if he were to build 5. And he's going to push. He's going to use this strong point house here to push this cut-off here. That's what this is all about. He's going to get behind 2 levels of green cover, the truck and the hard stone wall, and take the victory point so he can doubly make sure that he gets this as the cut-off. He's taken this strategic point there, so he's definitely going to have the cut-off in imminent danger for Momo. He's also using this Pioneer to cap this southern territory. Oh, and he's laying an S-mine as well, so he's going to ensure that this is not an avenue of escape for Momo. So Dusty's playing high progressive here. He's up against rifles in green cover, but he has got 4 squads versus 3. Obviously, with Ostrupen costing 200 manpower and having an instant build time versus 280 manpower riflemen with a build time incorporated into the first tier of tech. Is able to field more of them. In fact, he does have 5 on the field now. In fact, he's bringing in fresh ones from the off-map. 3-man squad having to get in the garrison. Is that 5 or 6? Dusty says, "I won't tell." He's got his game face on, his war face. He's not messing around. He's also got the Flammenwerfer on the Pioneers, bringing that into play. He's going to probably pick on the red cover-toting rifleman. Indeed, he's going to have to get out of their 2-man squad retreating. The guys in the garrisons have come out again because he realised, they weren't firing their weapons effectively enough. He's trying to backpedal away from the flamethrower, but that's putting his squads out of cover. Looks like the cut-off is in imminent danger. We do, however, have a rear echelon now pushing for his opponent's cut-off, and he has managed to keep the central victory point and the northern victory point all the while. It's a good tournament-level play from Momo, under a lot of stress and a lot of duress from his, in this case, arch nemesis, Dusty. Pioneer getting focus fired, as you should do when they've got a flamethrower licking you with those devil's tongue. So he's got ill health rifles in base. He's currently teching the lieutenant. Now, the lieutenant will give him the 50 cal. He won't want to go for the M20 because of Fausts. So it's got 50 cal and then the possibility of the AA half-track. The AA half-track is a very popular unit currently in USF meta. Interestingly, if you look at the map as we speak, it's blue is blinking at us and red is blinking at us. From space, that looks like so. It's a patchwork of cut-off territories. All quiet on the western front. Seems that the Ostrupen are in cover, waiting for their opponents. But he's going to group his rifles. Now then, this is a good strategy if you're suffering in the early game sometimes. You'll see even top-level players just form a small blob of their newly healed infantry and just go for it. Try and push units off the map. And it's not going to work very well if the MG42 is coming into the position. So that's going to be in the middle of the map very shortly. Lieutenant helping, so we got 2 squads here, 3 squads here, pushing this rear echelon off. He's going to try and cap that fuel point. He's going to cap his cut off. Here comes the MG. His protected by Ostrupen, so probably we'll get a few shots off on this blob here. No, they are getting behind that shot blocker. Not quite having the line of sight to capture that. And the map is back in Dusty's control largely. The fuel is 75% captured. And he is suffering for fuel, is Momo. He's only got 20, having tech for his lieutenant. So he's just got enough for the M20 now. So we're going to see if he wants to use it now. There's the S-mine going off on the rear echelon. He's pushing. He's found the MG out of position. Full retreat on the MG. He's going to get the cut-off. But it's an impotent cut-off attempt because the victory point is currently in Dusty's control. So there's no point taking the cut-off in this situation unless he's going to push this victory point. But you've got Ostrupen in the house and now behind this cart. Yellow cover cart there. Elsewhere you've got rifles now pushing out. They've pushed the MG away and they've taken the cut-off. The MG is currently in base, just getting out now. Highly pitched engagement there. It's going to be a dull affair indeed. Elsewhere you've got the rear echelons with the minesweeper now peeling out of the base sector. Pioneers with a flamethrower looking to try and push off the barred up lieutenants, but not going to happen, so he's going to use the MG instead. Rear echelons have done the wise thing. They've kept this victory point in. Here comes a 2-2-2. Interesting choice from Dusty. I mean, they do deal a nice amount of DPS on infantry, but they do leave you a little bit vulnerable to... I suppose he knows he's had his enemy's fuel points. Not anymore. Momo does have his fuel now, but he's had them for the majority of the first 6 minutes of play, so he knows he's still laid tech. So he's free to use the 2-2-2 for the time being. In terms of fuel, though, Momo's rapidly reaching 50. 50 means AA half-track. Ooh, rifles in a bit of peril. They are getting targeted. 2-2-2 repositions. Nice shots, threading the eye of the needle there. Good shot through the chasm. He's pushing out with Ostrupen and try and cap the north. You've got rifles in this strong house waiting. 2-2's going to push up against the side of that house and try and get shots in through the window. He's used the minesweeper to get a rifle out to cap this southern victory point, keeping the victory points in his control. You've got Dusty falling to 389. Rifles retreating through a hail of fire. The MG will not position in time to shoot them on retreat. MGs are quite good at capturing squads on retreat. You've got a 50 cal out, and the AA half-track is 90% complete, so he's going to have a very potent shock unit, and there are no counters in Dusty's tech at the moment. He's currently building a 251 half-track. If he'd built a pack, he would have... if he sees the AA half-track in time, he'd probably cancel the 251 and build a pack, in fact, I'd imagine. Because you don't want to be up against a AA half-track with just Faust at your disposal, because they'll suppress your troops and destroy your light armour. Here it comes. The Beyonce machine reverses onto the field of battle. Rifles putting heavy fire down on the Ostrupen. Rear echelon's the only thing they've got in backup. They are behind green cover, which is where they work best. Here comes the AA half-track. The 222's exposed. Will it get out of there in time? More than likely not. Out of control, explodes. AA half-track is a beast at eviscerating light to medium armour. It excels in that facet. You won't find a much better unit in current meta play in 1 versus 1, to be honest. 251 on the field, and Momo will be laughing to himself now. He knows he'll have... He'll be in a good position for the meantime. Rear echelon's in a difficult situation. They get headshotted on retreat. Savage from Dusty. Obviously, it's just his ambient units doing that, but it's still an embodiment of his aggression, I guess. 251 getting into position. Pioneers retreating. You've got the MG42 in the building. Oh, he's just chosen Tactical Support Company, which is the Calliope Doctrine, most commonly known as. 251 bearing down on the church. A half-track going to retreat this MG42 very quickly indeed. You do have another S-minefield here. And of course that rear echelon with the minesweeper has died, so it will maintain this munitions. It's spending munitions to keep munitions. Always an interesting little bit of play there on Kolodny Firma when they put an S-mine there. It is a popular spot. The lieutenant getting a few shots in there, getting a few kills. Here comes the extra rear echelon. Oh! The P-47 recon run is on the field. Rear echelon, rear echelons. Osttrooping getting pushed off. There it is, showing us everything it can see. It's scouting for packs currently. It's going to see what it can see and hopefully spot any anti-tank going onto the field. Now then, Momo for show is in a difficult. Dusty is now in a difficult teching situation. He's got a Panzer Grenadier with a Shrek. That was his AT choice, seemingly, not a the pack, and he's put him in the 251 half-track. Interesting decision. He's got the Osttrooping in the church, got the AA half-track bearing down on them. Here comes another Osttrooper squad. Faust and engaged. Gets the damaged engine. Here comes the 251 half-track. Panzer Shrek garrison within it. He releases it from the garrison. The 251 bites the dust. The Shreks, one hit, one misses. AA half-track survives. Panzer Grenadier suppressed. Really? Called by Dusty in chat? Really? And yes, indeed, a bit of bad luck there. If the second Shrek had hit, it might more than likely would have distinguished the AA half-track. Unfortunate there. Nearly gets a wipe on a rifle. That would have rebalanced the RNG in his favour, but unfortunately for him, yep, he just lost a 251 half-track, and his AT attempt was completely negated. Second rear echelon with a minesweeper sweeping that field there. You've got Osttrooping pushing rifles up from the south here. He has maintained this victory point in the south. Naden does not work against that rear echelon. Good micro from Momo. Successful cut-off attempt here. He does have the central victory point this time. And again, keeping victory points in his control. He currently has a triple cap on the go, does Momo, and that's probably due to the Osttrooping having to be in cover in order to fight. So it actually, and they have to be kind of grouped up to be truly effective. So although you have a lot of them on the field, if you're wanting to push your opponent about, you actually clump them together quite a lot. And Momo's taken advantage of that, and he's been capping the victory points all the time. And he's currently reduced his opponent to 300. Osttrooping getting pushed away there. AA half track on 7 kills, 2 of which are vehicles. So what's Dusty going to do from this position? He has a lot of fuel. He is currently teching tier 3, so he could get a Stug or a Panzer IV. Engagement in the south here. Pioneers nearly lose out. They do reach veterancy too, so they have better repair times now. Not that there are any vehicles to make use of them, because the AA half-track ate them up. MG is lucky to be alive. It's currently sitting in the church, watching over this northern sector. It'd probably be better positioned in the south, I guess, to try and get that victory point under his control, but instead he's got him in the church. AA half-track's opening up. Look at the church's health bar rapidly decrease. That's what Flak is good at, destroying buildings. Here comes a Faust. No, not get him in snare range. Rear echelons again making an attempt on the S minefield. Elsewhere, you've got Momo pushing for the fuel and the munitions in unison. MG, unfortunately, decides to set up once it exited the church and does get killed as a result. That is... It's definitely a bug, but it's also you can stop it happening as well if you know to look out for it sometimes. Frag grenades out for USF from the headquarters building. Interesting. From the barracks, rather, it's called the barracks. So that's going to give him smoke, and obviously frag grenades, and you just saw a rifle take the MG on a 3-man squad. He just squad wiped himself for no reason whatsoever. Momo says lol, misclicks for the win. So it's a difficult misclick to pull off, is picking up a crew weapon with a 3-man squad, because sometimes when you want to pick them up with a healthy squad you can't, and then when you don't want to pick them up you bloody pick them up. So nice trick from Momo there. And Dusty does have the MG back within his control for the second time it's been decrewed and recaptured. No, that was the first time actually. S-mine has now been cleared. You've got the Panzer Schrecked up Grens in the church and the MG42. He's waiting for the AA half-track. Panzer Grenadiers looking to get some shots off. They are suppressed. They do instead retreat. Panzer Schreck Gren, so the second squad with Panzer Shreks. No, this is the first squad built, rather. That's the second shot retreating. MG in the church! Oh dear God, they got obliterated, and that thing's on 15 kills now. Yeah, 15, 2 vehicle, 13 infantry. Elsewhere, Ostrupen ganging up against the rifles, pushing them off, but again the triple cap is engaged for Momo, drawing his opponent down to 170. He has also got the Major entering the field of combat. Not that it ever does much fighting, it's more for his abilities and Sherman's. Ostrupen having to push the north to get the victory points, and he's probably better to cap this south victory point with Dusty. Nice shots in by Dusty on this rifle. God, this MVP Vet 2 nearly, well not nearly, but it's Vet 2 regardless. Does eat a couple of Shrek shots, both penetrate, reducing it to around 30% health. He's got the 3/4 ton ambulance out. He's now going to be dealing full health LMG rifleman with the M19, A9, A1, A6, 6, A9 machine gun. Ostrupen capping up the south. He's capped the northern victory point, so he's finally realising that victory points are of the essence. It's interesting coming here as the dynamics of play when it comes to resources. You have 4 main resources, being, you know, actually 5 if you count pop cap. So you've got population, munitions, fuel, manpower, and victory points. 5 resources. Of course, the most crucial of which becomes victory points the longer a game goes on. And Dusty is finding this out to his detriment quite largely. Also, some people have claimed that time is the 4th resource, but Einstein proved that time isn't actually a physical constant, a measurable thing, so, you know, it doesn't exist. AA half-track getting cocky, it can afford to. He is proving that. Nice bundle nade in, he just dodged it just in time. Bundle nades do have quite a large tick. He did lose one model, but he dodged it just in time. Any other form of grenade and he wouldn't have seen it in time. Another reconnaissance in. This again scouting for packs. No packs on the field, so he can maintain. He does see tier 3 is up though. And it does have a Panzer Wehr building. A half-track repositioning to take out this Ostrupen. Nice Vet 2 Pioneer with a flamethrower. One of the best units to get Veterancy 2 on. Panzerfaust's going to keep the AA half-track moving at half speed for a while. 50 cal in a dominant position in the centre, going to keep that central victory point going for Momo. His opponent has drawn down to 129 now. Here come 2 LMG Veterancy 2 riflemen, a potent thing to field at any point in combat. Balled up Lieutenant getting attacked. He's going to have to retreat sooner rather than later. Nice rifle nade in, good dodge by Dusty. So both players have had good rifle nading, rifle dodging. What the hell am I saying? Good nade dodging. Here comes the Panzer IV. AA half-tracks only on 85% health already. One shot takes it down to 25. One more shot and it's done, diddly done for. The crew members leave. This crew members have 15 kills, so he is maintaining that Veterancy 3. And when his Sherman hits within the next minute, he'll be able to change out the crews if he's got the wisdom to do that. I predict he will do. Rifleman again capping the cutoff. That's the 3rd time his cutoff has been taken away from him for Dusty. He does now have a brief window of opportunity with his Panzer IV. Grease guns going in on the Ostrupen. You will notice that they're quite good when he gets close up. Sherman. Panzer IV in a good position. They're going to take some shots against the 50 cal. Hits the green wall instead. Elsewhere, you got Ostrupen again having to push up against LMG toting Vet 2 riflemen, and that's not going to be nice for them. This is quite an even battle, Sherman versus Panzer IV. It's a lot more evenly matched frontal armour for frontal armour than, say, a T-34-76. Vet 3 Ostroup get pushed away and 1 man remaining. STG and Panzerschreck toting Panzer Grenadiers are now going to get pushed away. No, they pushed the rifles away first. Nade misses. 50 cal downed. And there's the Sherman. Sorry, the Sherman is there. It's getting repaired very shortly. Got a rear echelon coming out. So another rear echelon died at some point. Probably down. Look at that Ostroupen. 20 kills in total. Dear God, that's a lot for an Ostroupen. Bloody hell, that's impressive. Panzer Grenadier lost a Shrek there. There's the Panzer Grenadier that lost the Shrek. He can't take it with this rifleman though, if you notice. 2 LMGs on the rifleman. So he's having to bring in the lieutenant to take it, and the Ostroupen aren't going to get there in time. Panzer Grenadier, having downed the 50 cal, is actually suffering for health. There you go, Panzer Grenadier with a... Panzer Grenadier lost the Shrek and the lieutenant has it. God, that Vet 3 LMG rifleman has 26 kills and counting. 50 cal is taken under pressure from the Panzer Grenadier. They do have 2 Shreks and only 1 STG, and the STG isn't facing the window. So it was actually an easy take, surprisingly. You wouldn't have usually thought that. There's the Panzer Shrek penetrating the frontal armour of the Panzer IV. LMG Grenadier. LMG. What the hell am I saying? It's a Panzer Shrek Lieutenant, and it dies on retreat thanks to the pintle mount of the Panzer IV. I don't know why I shouted LMG Grenadier. That was something from another realm of Company of Heroes. That was a different game coming into my memory and entering the reality of this game, seemingly. Nice crushing there on a few Ostroupen from the Sherman. Does get penetrated. However, this Panzer Grenadier now only has 1 Shrek, so it's a call back to 2013 Company Heroes 2 there, when you could have either 1 or 2. Out of choice. Very quick repair there, critical repair. Infantry battle in the south. Panzer Shrek penetrates, leaving the Sherman with only 40% health. Not able to push the initiative there, so that unlucky drop that happened here with that Panzer Shrek comes back to bite him in the arse for Dusty. Oh, Ostroupen goes down. That was the first of the first 5 Ostroupen built to die in this game, and it was to this 21 kill rifleman. So Dusty's squad preservation has been excellent. I know his VP preservation hasn't been so good, but his squad preservation has been. He does have a decent amount of fuel, and he has got tier 3, so he can be thinking about another tank or possibly assault gun soon. Or indeed, flak cannon, toting, support, tank, whatever you want to call an Ostwind. He's building an Ostwind! God, the Panzer IV just hasn't had time to get fully repaired. He needs to keep pushing the victory points. He knows he's suffering right now. He does have the north, but he's soon to lose it. Hopefully, for Dusty's sake, the Ostwind, soon to be on the field of combat, will help him overcome that. Sherman fully repaired. There's the vets. That's not the vet. Sorry, the vehicle crew inside. I can't work this out. Well, anyway, the Sherman's got Veterancy 1. I think he must be using the AA half-tracks vehicle crew for that. Nice shot in from the Sherman. 3 models killed on that Panzer Grenadier with the Shreks. Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks have not been a great decision for Dusty in this game. In fact, they've probably resulted in not having... You know, he lost dominance because of that decision. And it wasn't necessarily a bad decision. It was more Momo played well and avoided them. And another great shot in from the Sherman. Jesus Christ, it went from 16 to 24 kills in 2 shots there. 50 cal... destroyed for the second time. Here comes Ostroupen. There's no walls around this house anymore, so it can't take advantage of cover. You've got the double combination from the medium armour there. Panzer IV and the Panzer Shrek. This Sherman will be very lucky to escape. And lucky it is. Takes advantage of a momentary bonus road. The width span of it, anyway. Nice smoke in from the Sherman using a little used ability, the smoke screen, to screen for his Sherman and retreat to safety. He's currently taking the central victory point. Momo is always taking victory points. He never relents in his victory point quest, seemingly. And look at the kills on these riflemen. 30 on this squad. This has been a high kill game for infantry. You've got 3 Vet 3 rifles, and it's not easy to get Vet 3, especially against Ostrupen, because they don't actually give that much experience per kill. Again, he's taking the southern victory point, just as he now has to fight away Ostrupen in the northern sector. He does have grenades at his disposal, if he should so want to use them. Oh, this rifle's in peril, especially if the Ostrupen gets a salvo in. No, not quite. It is a little bit inaccurate on the move. Best thing to do with Ostrupen is try and get ahead of the retreating squad and then go stationary, and you take advantage of the non-moving accuracy. Here comes the Panzer IV. 11 kills on that thing. Did get that squad on retreat we saw. Sherman targeting the Ostrupen. Really would have liked to have seen a pack from Dusty in this game. Suppose he'd still be in a similar victory point position, but he could have actually kept his opponent's armour at bay at least, especially when the AA half-track was on the field. Vet 3 crew member dies to the Pintle mount. 12 kills now. Panzerfaust from the Ostrupen there. Here comes a Jackson tank destroyer. The M36. It's a glass cannon, but the cannon aspect is very potent indeed. Panzer IV on the hunt. Oh, look at that penetration. Look at that damage. Another shot in from the Sherman penetrates also. Shrek's in the house. Jackson on the hunt. There is a sight blocker in that. Let's get Fog of War displayed. Just about missed line of sight there. And Panzer Shrek's all the while getting shots in on the Sherman. Elsewhere, you got Panzer IV retreating to safety. You got the anti-tank grenade on the hunt from the rifles there. Good aggression from Momo. Good utility. He does enable it, but he doesn't quite get the shot off, and he knows that the Panzer IV hit the bonus road, so it's going to be able to reverse to safety. And it is indeed in base now, you can see. Elsewhere, you got squads coming onto the field of combat for Dusty. And he's going to have to target victory points. He's on 43 remaining. Jackson getting in a strong position. Great shot in. Just about skimming the side of that building there and getting the shot in through the frontal armour of the Ostwind. Ostrupen defending the southern victory point for their lives against an LMG Vet 3 rifleman. They are winning currently, which is surprising. One-man squad retreating from that rifleman. So, in general, the rifleman squad preservation has been good for Momo, just as the Ostrupen squad preservation has been good for Dusty. He does actually have a momentary triple cap. His opponent has drawn below 400. So, but he's only got 43, so he needs to maintain at least 2 victory points every single moment of the game from here on out. Otherwise, he's going to have... it's going to be endgame, basically. Sherman is at full health, veterancy 2. Jackson is in a strong position, waiting for any sign of that medium armour. Panzer IV's finally been fully repaired. It's got its skirts at veterancy 2, and there's another Panzer IV coming onto the field now. So 2 Panzer IVs and an Ostwind. As I said earlier, he's going to have to keep this victory point and the northern one. It's not easy to keep the middle against a Jackson, and against a 50 cal. He did lose his MG42. There's the S-mine. It was never fully actually swept, seemingly, because that was just the corner of it, finally going off against that rifle. He now knows that there's 2 Panzer IVs on the field. Seemingly also now building his captain. That's an interesting choice. Of course, he already has his major, so now he'll be able to get AT guns, pack howitzers. What's the other thing you can get? And of course, Stuarts, but I doubt he'll want a Stuart. Oh, Jackson gets the kill on that Panzer IV. Thankfully for Dusty, it was the new Panzer IV and not the Veterancy 2 one. And he just can't get the shots in he requires, and Ostrup and Vet 3 are retreating through a hail of fire. Not currently being focus fired, however, so they probably will escape. He has kept the northern and the southern victory points for a while now. Here comes the Ostwind. It's going to be up against the captain's bazookas, and very shortly the Jackson and the Sherman. So the vehicle crew from the AA half track is in the Sherman, as I thought. You shouldn't be too sure with American veterans see for vehicles. It is ever so confusing. LMG's pushing hard for the southern victory point. He's got the centre. Centre's currently exposed should Dusty want it. Faust coming in surely. No, there's no point because the Jackson has full health, so he knows he needs to diminish its health before he can even Faust it. The Panzer IV is having an absolute nightmare trying to navigate the battlefield. Can't seem to get into this pocket of territory here. It's tried everything, reversing, it's messing up its gears, driving into trees. Here comes the Ostwind to save the day in the south. He doesn't have full health, so it will be an anti-tank grenade coming in very shortly.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Infantry unit dies again there. 2 infantry units in quick succession. No, 1 infantry unit died and then a crew member jumped in. Sorry, I got confused. 50 cal perhaps going down again. No, suppression. They were suppressed, so they couldn't get the kill. Sherman, good shots off. And the suppressed Panzer Grenadiers with the Shreks. It's the story of this game. They have not been as effective as they need to be. Anti-tank grenade did go in on the Ostwind. It does indeed have what could be known as just normal engine damage, but it doesn't want to get out of there because he needs to keep the some victory point. But here comes the Jackson. Oh! God, nearly destroying the Ostwind on the first hit. 1 more hit required. Can he get round the shot blocker? No, he cannot. Out of control. Bites the dust. Jackson's now going to cap that south victory point if he wants to. But no, probably just needs the LMG rifleman. He's taking the northern victory point. Regardless of what the Panzer IV thinks, he's taking it. He's now draining his opponent. He's whited 2. He's got the other. So Dusty now slips finally below 33 down to 40. Jackson back to full health. Vet 3 rifles with 33 kills. There's another squad on 28. Trooping still with us. I think we might have lost the best one because the second best one has 24 kills. Good Faustin. Sherman on the assault. 2 victory points in Momo's control. He has taken an trooping round, but the riflemen will surely reroute and try and push them away. Sherman going absolutely mad to try and kill that Panzer IV. Here comes the Stug. It does get the kill on the Panzer IV. The Stug, however, is going to get some good shots in. Seems, however, he has used these Garden Shrek misses. GG. Dusty calls GG and sends Momo through to the next round of the tournament, and if you didn't follow this tournament, I can spoil it for you, unless you want to go check out some casts on Tightrope's channel, and somebody else cast one game. General's Gentleman also cast a game from this tournament, like a 1 hour, 10-minute game. It was absolutely epic. So, spoilers alert now, Momo actually goes on to win this tournament, but Dusty puts up a hell of a fight in this game. It's clear to see that, you know, he left himself available for RNG to take effect with those Panzer Shreks, and against an AA half track, that's where he began to lose the game. Momo kept the victory points, and there was just didn't let him back into the game after that. And thank you for watching. Hopefully you have a lovely Christmas. I definitely will. I'll be back casting. I think this Sunday I'll be doing some casting this Sunday. Maybe some more Street Zoom cast, or maybe try and cast some of the unofficial ESL games for the Kickoff Cup. There's the overview of units killed. It seems that Dusty lost so many. Ostroop 215. There's the army value for both players. You can see that Momo's army value, that's pretty much the AA half track doing an incredible amount of work there, wiping those 2 light on vehicles. There's the 222, there's the 251, and of course Panzerstreck, we lost a few models at that point as well. Not much resource point. But again, as I say, thank you for watching and goodbye.